I've now made more than 100 YouTube videos, mostly using my iPhone. And somewhere along the way, I realized I had created a bottleneck for myself. I love creating. I'm learning an enormous amount about filming and editing, and I really want to start getting better at B-roll, movement, vlogging, and actually showing more of what I'm talking about instead of always sitting in one spot. But the problem is, my phone is also my phone. If I'm recording a longer video, transferring a huge file, processing something, or using it for another part of my workflow, suddenly the one camera I rely on is tied up too. And I've got an upcoming trip that I really want to document well. So I started thinking about what piece of gear would actually make creating easier rather than simply giving me another gadget to own. And this is how this little guy happened. This has actually been sitting in the box for a few days because life has been slightly ridiculous and I haven't even had the chance to open it. So today we're doing that together. This is not a review. I haven't used it yet. This is the genuine unboxing, my first impressions and why I decided to buy it, and what I'm hoping it will solve in my creator workflow. So let's open it. All right, this little fellow has been waiting in the box for several days now, so I'm glad he hasn't given up on me. I'm really excited to finally open this because, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't buy another camera just because I wanted another piece of tech. I bought it because I've run into a very real creative bottleneck. So let's see what's actually in the creator combo, and then I want to turn it on and put it to work. This is obviously the star of the show. The whole reason I wanted something like this is for portability plus the gimbal. Something I could put down and have follow me rather than constantly repositioning my phone. So this is the carry bag. So DJI lists a new 1-inch CMOS sensor up to 4K 240 FPS, slow motion mechanical gimbal stabilization, and I really was looking for something like this. Subject tracking, which I'm excited to try, and 107 gigabyte built-in storage. Wow. This is really small. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow, is this ever small? Now I've also purchased extra screen protectors for this, so I'll put those on and I'll have it all set up. Now this is the Osmo Pocket 4 handle with a 1/4 inch thread. Mini tripod. This I love. So this is the Osmo Mini Tripod. This is exactly the kind of thing I care about as a solo creator. I can put this on a table, walk away, get a shot without setting up my full tripod. So I love that it came with this, and that's part of why I got the creator combo. This is the Osmo Pocket 4 Fill Light. This could really be interesting for travel, hotel rooms, or darker situations when I'm not carrying my studio lighting. DJI specifically recommends it for low light shooting. I think this is the wide angle lens. So a wide angle lens, potentially useful for travel, small spaces, walking shots. We'll see how much I actually use it. Being a lens, I'm going to put it back in the bag for now. Okay, so we've covered the mini tripod, the fill light, the wide angle lens, obviously the DJI Osmo itself, and the 4-inch handle. Now, obviously I have mics that I've been using up until now, but I don't have DJI mics. So the Mic 3 transmitter comes with it, and this matters to me because I don't want to build a second complicated audio rig every time I want to vlog. The DJI Mic 3 magnet clip. For comparison in size, here's my Hollyland 2 and the DJI. So they're fairly similar size-wise. It's stuck. But here is the magnet clip for the mic. And the lapel clip. So if you want to clip it on like that. Now you get a black and a black gray windscreen. I always like seeing these little fuzzy wuzzies when people have them on their mics. It's kind of cute. I assume it clips on right on top. Kind of adorable. There's the gray one, black and gray, and the black. The other thing listed in the box is the Osmo Pocket gimbal clamp. It's already obviously on the Osmo Pocket. And then we're on the home stretch for accessories. The DJI Mic 3 transmitter magnetic charging cable. The DJI Mic 3 transmitter magnetic charging cable, and it is a USB-C. And USB-C to USB-C cable. The wrist strap. Put it on right here at the bottom. Now, in addition to the carrying bag, which obviously held all of this, which is great, and it's quite well padded. I really do like this. I was looking at carrying cases, and I did buy a hard case, but this might be sufficient. I did buy a hard case, but this might just do the trick, so I may not need the hard case. Just get the cords out of the way. With an additional portable carrying pouch. This is really cute. It's like a little sleeping bag for your Osmo. It's got a little mesh pocket with a snap closure. Definitely fits Osmo snugly, and then you could put a few things on the side, like the mic, maybe even the fill light on the side if I'm bringing that with me. Not sure if I place the tripod right on top like that, and then the handle. So depending on how much you need to carry with you. So I do really like that it comes with the different carrying bags. This is really nice. And they feel fairly good quality. The fabric is nice. I like the loop. It's stitched well on both sides. I look for things like that. The zippers are smooth. So this is everything in the Osmo Pocket 4 Creator Combo. So the Creator Combo officially includes the camera, the Mic 3, transmitter, accessories, fill light, wide angle lens, mini tripod, carrying bag, gimbal clamp, charging cable, and the related pieces. Let's just pop everything back in the carrying bag. So there's room for the Osmo, for the handle, tripod. I'm not sure how much I'll use these windscreens. I guess they come in handy when you're outside more. Inside it's always quite quiet, I find, in my studio, but I would carry them with me. The cords in the back too. Fill light. And there's the charger for the transmitter. On this side, there's actually little pockets. I'm not sure if you can see that. There's elastic pockets here. Put the transmitter in there. So there's 4 of these elastic pouches, which would be good for storing cards. And then there's a strap, which I'm not putting on right now. I almost bought this online. I didn't realize that it came with the carrying pouch, let alone the portable carrying pouch. This is really a great set. You don't have to worry about the mic. You've got the tripod, the carrying bags, which come in really handy. I'm really excited to set this up, to boot it up and use it. All right, so the first thing, I had to update the firmware. He's updated. And we are ready to go. So it is really cool, super small, And on and off is just the toggle of the screen. And he went to bed. So I trust that this should go on every time you're packing them up, just to keep it safe. And I've gone ahead and put the screen protector on. Corner's lifted a little, that's okay. And I also did put the screen protector on the lens. Now we're going to play with this guy a little bit. It is much smaller than I thought. The next thing I'll do is put in the SD card, or the microSD I should say. And that just goes right here on the side. Like I said, there is the 107 gigs built in. And there we go. So it does just slide. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put in microSD. Stay, buddy. Okay, there we go. That's the way to put it in. Push it till it clicks. And then just get this back in. There, nice and snug. All right, so my SD card is in there, and I think if I power it up, obviously don't forget the clamp. I gotta get used to that. Switch storage to SD card, yes. Swipe up from the edge to set shooting parameters. Swipe down from the corner to enter control center. Swipe from the left edge to enter playback. Swipe from the right edge to change image and audio parameters. Okay, I'm definitely gonna need to play with this for a while. Spend some time with this and see what I can learn. That's the unboxing of the Osmo Pocket 4 Creator Combo. And let's see what this baby can do. I've got a lot to learn, but I'm really excited. Now, I mentioned I bought some other accessories, and I didn't realize they came with that cute pouch, as I mentioned before. So I bought a hard case. I thought for my carry-on, I have an upcoming trip. I really like to have gear protected. And while I think this is good if you have a good quality bag, if you're traveling and you're worried about it being protected well, I thought I'd try this case. I'll put the links below for the accessories I ordered. And this one I got online. And it has room for the battery handle, micro SD cards, the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 or the Pro, ND filters, mist filter, magnetic wide angle lens. So it's got room for the mic 3 and for the lens. It's got room for the DJI transmitter, fill light, as well as room for the tripod. Comes with a carabiner and a wrist strap. Now, I guess depending on the Osmo you've got, you can take out, I already took out the center part. So you just take out the fill that you don't, the spots that you need, and it's adjustable that way. So I'll let you know how this goes, if I'll keep it, if I'll use it, or if I feel that this carrying pouch is enough. The other things I bought for my computer, a 2-in-1 card reader. I did get an extra SD card. I love that there's the built-in 107 gigs of storage, but I bought an additional SD card. And I picked up a 256 for now. I think for my purposes that'll be more than enough, but I may pick up a 512. And I already mentioned I bought screen protectors. It's a 9H scratch resistant HD clear, so I will put those on before I fire it up, so when I come back it'll have it on. Okay, so that's everything out of the box. My immediate reaction is that this is much smaller than the amount of mental space it has occupied in my head for the last couple of weeks. What I'm most excited to test is whether it actually removes some friction from film. Can I grab this and quickly get a shot without setting up my whole phone? Can I film myself moving around the house? Can I get better B-roll when I'm organizing, cooking, packing, or working on something? And when I travel, can I document more of the experience without constantly pulling out my phone and draining the same device I need for tickets, maps, and communication? Those are the things that will determine whether this was actually a smart purchase for me. So those are genuinely my first impressions. I'm not going to tell you after an hour that this is the best camera ever or that everybody needs one, because I don't know that yet. But what I do know is why I bought it. After more than 100 videos, I had enough experience to finally identify a real production problem. I wanted a second camera that was small, easy to grab, useful for B-roll and movement, and that would stop my iPhone from having to do absolutely everything. Now I need to see whether this actually solves that problem. And I think that's going to be the interesting part. I've got a trip coming up. I want to start creating more intentional B-roll, and I'm going to be putting this thing to work almost immediately. So I'll come back after I've actually used it and tell you what worked, what didn't, what surprised me, and whether I still think it earned the investment. If you're also building a channel and you've hit the point where your phone is starting to feel like the bottleneck, I'd love to know what part of your filming setup is slowing you down right now. And now I should probably stop talking about this thing and actually learn how to use it.